What's going on there, tubers? You guys seem to like my last walk around video of my KTM 450 EXC, so I decided to do a walk around of the current state and progress of this year 71 Yamaha R5. Obviously it looks nothing like the original piece that Yamaha came out with back in 71, and almost everything has been done to this bike. This is what we have here. I'm really glad the sun is out today because the paint is one thing you guys really haven't seen. It moves in the sun. It's dark green with this crazy flake in it that's got blue and green. Colors like a dark forest green. But if it's not looking directly at the sun, the bike appears to be black, which is okay. I did the front fender, the tank, and the tail. So let's go over this whole thing from start to finish. Bought the bike probably 4 years ago as a bar hopper, the guy described it as. So I knew what I was looking for. I knew I wanted a two-stroke CAFE RACER, and I couldn't think of any other bike besides this, obviously. I like the fact that it's the early Banshee engine, but it's not in a four-wheeler. It's in a motorcycle. It's non-liquid cooled, okay? It's air-cooled only. But it's badass, and I wanted a two-stroke in my garage. So also wanted a road bike, a two-stroke. I haven't experienced that ever. So the guy basically had a different style tank on it. I believe this is an RD350 tank. I don't know if there's a difference between that and the R5 tank, but the difference between the RD350 and the R5 is RD350s came in 73 with a front disc brake and also had the reed valve engine. So this is an R5 with the front disc brake with the RD350 reed valve engine. So as time went on and started work on the thing, I knew I had to modify a bunch of stuff and cut stuff. So that was first step. All the tabs have been chopped off, all in this area. The oil box has been eliminated. I don't have a battery box or anything like that. This is a fender I made because I don't want to run a rear fender. So I'm going to make a slight bend to this and have it sit in here all nice. I left 2 tabs on this back rail so this can mount properly. And I cut this out last night so I can make space for the chain, but it fits pretty good. Sorry I'm using a GoPro. My HD camera is not working with my video editing program right now. Anyway, almost everything on this bike has been either powder coated, painted, or anodized. And I'm talking, I went down to nuts, washers, bolts. I went with the stainless hardware around the cases here. But I mean, I literally powder coated everything I could on the bike. This is an aluminum sprocket, anodized, but again, even the bent tabs here for the sprocket are powder coated. The wheels got taken apart, got powder coated. We have brand new spoke situation here that I got from HVC Cycle. A lot of my parts I got from them, actually. I have the fasten the past rear sets. These come silver, so I got them anodized. I shortened them up 1/4 inch, and the reason I did that is the kicker does not clear this side. And in the instructions, when you buy these from from the Past, they recommend that you get the RD350 kicker and bend it out. But I just decided to shorten the foot peg. So it clears by a cunt hair. So the engine cylinders are bored out 1 over. By 1 over, I mean like the next size up, 30 thousandths or whatever. I'm running Banshee pistons in there. I modified them. And the wrist pin bearings I'm running are off some Kawasaki because I think they have an extra 2 or 3 pins in it. My engine builder recommended I did that. Also got them from him. I'm running the, I believe 30 or 32, I believe they're 32, flat slab Makuni carburetors, and they're awesome. I'm running the 4-inch foam uni pod filters with no back plate, okay? And I was told not to run those because with the back plate, it doesn't run right. So I just trusted the guy's opinion on that, so that's what we have. This is wrinkle finish powder coat. I did it on both cases on either side of the bike because I wanted to break it up. I really did. And I think it creates a good contrast if you're looking for it. I kept this in this standard high heat paint and went ahead and hit this on the soft wheel to get that aluminum appearance to it. create a little contrast. Iridium spark plugs are in there. Got brand new coils. I also did this side wrinkle finish for the drum cover that holds the brake shoes here. Again, to break it up. These are powder coated. The wheels are powder coated, and I want to break that up with the wrinkle finish, and I think it's great. And then when you hit it with the brake arms, black powder coat, again, it creates that contrast. Now on the reverse side, we have the powder coat here, and we have the wrinkle finish for the rear. Sorry about that. Wrinkle finish for the rear. I did the bar, the wrinkle finish. I did the back part of the rear set, the wrinkle finish. The frame I had completely powder coated. The spring arm I powder coated myself. I'd say like 80% of the powder coating I did myself. This fucking guy making a video over here. But the big stuff I couldn't do, so I had to outsource those. The wheel rings, the frame, and the fork tubes. I didn't want to screw those up, so I had everything done outside my capabilities. The front fender is chopped, as you can see. It normally comes with a support for here and here. Chopped that off, got rid of that, made nice radiuses here. A lot of people do that. A little bit more. Actually, I have it on backwards right now. Whatever. I just mocked this up because it's actually rubbing because of my tire sizes, but yeah, you get the idea. It's supposed to be more on the back and a little less in the front, but I put it on backwards. I just put it on for the video. I have to bend it a little bit because my tire sizes I upgraded. They normally come with a 90 in the front and a 100 in the back. I went with a 110 in the back and a 100 in the front, so it's you know, hitting. But I powder coated the underside of it. That's what I'm getting at. And then I painted the top. The suspension's stock, but I put spacers in there so I could have a little bit extra stiffness to it. I'm running the JL stainless expansion chambers, and my carbs are jetted accordingly. I'm running the official Yamaha boots here for the crossover tube. This is one thing you guys should not skip out on if you're going to build this yourself, because you don't want them to crack. The same goes for the fork boots here. If you skimp out on them, eventually they will crack in the sun. I got that information from an old timer, so I definitely trust that theory. I got the new chain on there. I'm running stock gearing. This tail is actually the Thruxton tail, fiberglass, got off Dime City Cycles. I don't like the way it sits right now. That's because I'm using the stock mounting points. So what I'm going to do is get a universal seat mounting kit and go ahead and countersink the front half of it into the frame rail. So it will be that perfect straight line that everyone's looking for, along with the open triangle here. So I may or may not have to cut these off. I don't know. I didn't think about that before I did the powder coating, which I'm a little upset about. But it's okay. I'll figure it out. I went ahead and made a 7/32 thick plywood seat pan, and I have foam on hand and I have a seat cover on hand. Naturally, I'm going with black, so that will be one of the next projects to get this thing to where it needs to be, is doing the seat. I got this headlight off Dime City. I don't like the stock ones. I'm a little disappointed just because these don't fit right. Again, almost everything on this bike that I buy I have to modify. I went with the 1.9-inch diameter Speedo. I got the tack block off. I'm running no tack. But the good thing is, these Trail Tech gauges here I got for temperature only, but they have a clock, they have Fahrenheit, and they have RPM as well. You basically just take the wires and wrap them around the spark plug coil wire here. There's many other things I had to buy for this bike. Petcock reseal kit, kickstand extension kit, which I don't even want to get into that. That was the biggest pain in my ass ever. Brake shoes, oil, battery, electrical connectors, you name it. I had to buy everything for this bike. But everything has been done, every system has been taken care of, every part has been touched, modified, painted, powder coated, or whatever. At this point, I decide I don't want to run a horn, I don't want to run turn signals, I don't want to get inspection. I think that's a classiness violation, in my opinion. The style taillight that I'm going to do, I already have it in stock. It's an 8-inch strip taillight to go around the back here. but I still have to mount it and wire it up. But everything's there. I'm still fabbing up the dash setup. I know it looks like shit right now, but the end result is going to look A1. So that's the setup I wanted to go with. I just put it on there for the video because I'm still working on it. Now the tail is modified. We cut the back off, welded a hoop in and a plate. Oh, there goes the seat cushion. That's what we got here. My friend did this. It's not exactly how I would have done it, but it works, so we're okay there. Now the other thing that I got going on is the front suspension works fine. The rear suspension, it is so stiff. These are off-the-shelf Hagen shocks from Dime City, and they don't give you an option of the spring rate. So I'm only 120 pounds, and this is a light bike, especially after all the weight that I shaved off of it. So I'm trying to get in contact with Hagen to get custom-made springs for my weight and for my bike. Unfortunately, they are based out of London, and it's almost impossible to get in contact with them. Their San Diego location has closed. I'm sure some of you guys know. Now, since I have this tail here and the battery box removed, I went with a ballistic battery because you can mount it in any direction you want because it doesn't have fluid in it. So with that being said, this is it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to get into with this, I bought a universal throttle cable kit and I had it soldered up and all the barrel ends cut the length, and it wasn't working right. So I went on HVC Cycle, and they make the 2-into-1 rather than the stock 3-into-1 throttle cable because I eliminated the oil pump. I got the block off kit, that's all done because I want to run just premix in there. Because I don't want oil tanks back here, the battery box, the whole nine, it's all gone. I eliminated all that shit. So I just put it on last night. I have never paid $80 for a throttle cable in my life. And I figure for peace of mind, screw it, let me order it and see how it works. And it is beautiful. Complete night and day difference from my last video of my test ride where I was explaining it was a little stiff. So I'm really glad I spent the money on that. It's a shame I had to overpay, but this is not a budget build, just like my KTM. You know, everything's been done. The top end, everything, you know, wheel bearings, tires, everything. I have like 9 miles on this bike. I just got it running last weekend. But yeah, it's what we got. Might as well give you a startup situation. Let's give it a go. There we go. As soon as I started, the sun came out. You get the idea. She's bad. She sounds good. She runs good. She stops good. She starts good. But yeah, this is update number 3 on the bike. It's still a work in progress. Yeah. So that's it for today's video. If you like it, you know what to do. If you're new, subscribe. Until next time.